This Nick bringing the business. Hey, I wanted to get on here right quick and talk about this Tyreek Hill situation. So, obviously, from listening to me for several years or whatever, that everybody know I'm in law enforcement. But I'm also a black man in America, a black man that lives in Chicago, Illinois. So, let me give it to you straight. Tyreek Hill was pulled over for speeding. So, police officers are within their right to pull the car over. You have broken the law, which is speeding. Now, when you look at the car, obviously, yes, it's a nice car, and I'm not saying that the officers didn't have some underlying feelings about that, you know, because most police officers, I don't know any police officers that can afford a car like that. So, I mean, let's just get that out in the open. Second, he's a black man. Now, did they know he was a black man when they first pulled him over? We don't know that, you know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. We don't know that. We can only go with the facts that's presented to us, you know, at that particular time. So, let me just explain something to you when it comes to officers. So when we pull you over and you have a car that has tinted windows, we're thinking about our safety. So we walk up to the car, we knock on the window, or especially if the window is not down, we have to knock on the window. Now, I'm not saying that the guy that he didn't knock hard or knock to the level of like feeling like Tyreek felt like he's gonna break his window. I don't know. I wasn't there. So I'm not going to justify how hard he knocked or how light he knocked, because I wasn't there to see that. But what are we supposed to do? If the window was already rolled down, there's no reason for us to knock on the window. There you go. So yes, we're going to ask you for your driver's license because you just committed a moving violation by speeding. So we get the license, and it from my vantage point, it looked like he gave him the license, but he had the window kind of cracked or whatever, and then he rolled the window back up. Now, for our safety, because you have tinted windows. Now, if you had a car that had no tints in it, and we could see straight through the car, you and everybody else that could possibly be in that car, it doesn't matter if your windows are raised up or not, because we can see everything in the car. But if you have tints in the window, for our safety and your safety, we want you to keep the window down. We don't know if once we walk away with the license, you can roll the window back down or hop out the car and have a gun or any type of weapon in the car. Excuse me. We don't know that. You have to understand that this is the first time in life probably that we've seen you. So we don't know you. We don't know you enough to trust, you know, what your actions may be. We don't know any of that. So I'm just addressing the issue, what happened while he was in the car. That's what I'm addressing right now. Had he rolled the window down when the officer, or had the windows rolled down, because obviously nobody's told him how to conduct himself during a traffic stop as a black man. And now I'm not saying, we could sit here all day long and talk about the fairness of if a white person get pulled over compared to when a black person get pulled over. But we all know in this world today, and it has been forever, that it's not fair, and it won't, and it will never be fair. So we can just cancel all of that conversation because it's not going to happen. It hasn't happened. It probably would never happen. So we have to go and conduct ourselves and abide by the rules that apply to us, unfortunately. So if you, and like I tell my son, if you get pulled over by a police officer, roll your window down, give them your license and your insurance, make sure that it's ready so you're not reaching and filling for stuff or whatever. Give them the license and insurance, keep your hands exactly where they can see it. Yes, sir. No, sir. You know, can you tell me why you pulled me over, sir? Okay, I understand. That's it. There's no argument. There's no Even if you feel like they're wrong, you can figure that out later. There's no need for you to go back and forth with the police officers as a black man in America. First and foremost, let me get back to Tyreek Hill. So they asked him to get out the car. Now, yes, things got heated, but you can also tell from what he was saying that he was being a little bit elevated in the way he was responding to the police officers. Like you didn't commit a crime. You committed a crime. Be it is just a moving violation, but it's still a crime. So now if you got pulled over unjustly, I can completely understand you having some type of frustration about that. Excuse me. But if you know that you were speeding and you got pulled over for what you know you were doing, then comply with what the officers are telling you to do. That's all I can say about that. Now, as far as the officers getting elevated, did they take it a little too far? Absolutely. Yes. Sir, get out the car. I want you to get out the car. Pull him out the car. Okay, you search him. It's one person. You search the man. You can place him in cuffs. And look, I'm gonna place you in cuffs for your safety and my safety, because I got you. And the thing is, nowadays, it's like you have to express and explain to the person that you're apprehending why you're doing what you're doing. It's no longer a police department where you can say I did it just because. There's no policing like that anymore. Believe me, I've been doing this for 20 years. That you have to explain to a person, well, I'm taking you out the car because I asked you to roll the window down because you have tinted windows. And for your safety and mine, I'm asking you to get out the car. And I pulled you out the car because I don't know what you have in here or who else you may have in here. So I need to make sure that I'm safe while I conduct this traffic stop. That's it. Now, the officers that, I know one particular officer who just got overly aggressive. It happens. It happens. Now, I'm not saying that the guy's justified in doing that, because he's not. He's absolutely 100% not justified in doing that. You are to meet the aggression of the person that you are apprehending or detaining. If that person is not being aggressive with you, there's no reason why you should be aggressive with them. First and foremost. There you go. Secondly, with the guys that pulled up, his teammates that pulled up to just make sure that he was okay, as an officer, the way I would have handled the situation was, sir, what's the problem? Well, I'm here because my friend's being detained. Sir, it's a traffic violation. We're going to take care of the situation. Things got a little heated. Everything will be fine. That's it. You can explain to him the situation, and you can give him as minimal information as you possibly can give him, and then you let him know everything is gonna be fine. As far as you being aggressive with somebody that's not being aggressive with you, be it verbal or physical, there is no policing like that anymore. Because what happens to you as a police officer is what happens. Everything is being recorded. You're going to be put on administrative duty. You could possibly get suspended, fired, all of that, because you are not doing your job the way policing is being policed today in America. You can't do that anymore. You can't. And the level of talking about Tyreek Hill being a sports figure, obviously well known, I'll say to Tyreek Hill, learn how to conduct yourself during a traffic stop. Yes, all of that could have been avoided by you just rolling your window down. Yes, officer, what do you need from me? Driver's license, insurance, registration, whatever they do in Miami-Dade. You hand them that. You keep your hands visible where they can see it. You take your ticket and you go on to work. You feeling like, I'm Tyreek Hill, even though you didn't say that, but mentally you can tell that you were agitated by the situation, but that's not the way you conduct yourself during a traffic stop. Because, like I said, we can sit here all day long and talk about, well, if I was white, I could have said this, did that, or whatever, and they would have did nothing. You're probably right. There's no argument with that. You're probably right. And is it wrong that that's the way it is? Absolutely. But once again, we live in a world that is not fair. And we know that. So you can sit here and argue about this, that, and the third about that, but we know it. So we have to operate in the rules that are set for us. Now, until those things change, we got to do what we got to do. And I'm saying that to you as a law enforcement officer. You have to do what you have to do. I mean, that's what it is. I like I was talking and I was saying that those officers not going to get fired. Now, disciplinary action, yes. Suspension, yes. Can the department possibly get sued? Yes. But they're not going to get fired for that. Like, you could tell he had no physical injuries. Like, he was not hit in the face. He was not, nothing like that, punched or, kicked or anything like that. Yes, whereas he's being forcibly detained and a little bit, it was more force than necessary, yes. So for that, that's going to be a suspension. It's not going to be, we're going to call for him to be fired. Nah, it's not going to happen. And I'm saying that because I want people to understand the situation and to the gravity of the situation. Like, that is not going to get you fired. It will get you suspended without pay. It will get you reassigned if you was like on the unit where you was like, it was a good unit for you to be on. You may get reassigned, but fired won't happen. So I want people to just kind of curve their expectations of what can happen to this officer, because and then they put him on administrative duty immediately because it's just showing the public that the department did something. That's what it did. We did something. Now, it's unfortunate because NFL Week 1 kicked off, and just one of my favorite times of the year, and I always think about this. I don't know if I've talked about it. I know I've talked about it to be about it, but like, our world lives in like this hamster wheel of events that just happen over and over again every year, which would be the NBA draft, and then the summer league, and then basketball comes back around, and then then you got the college football, and then you got the NFL kickoff. Week 1 and week of NFL and NCAA football is one of my favorite times of the year, and I hate that this situation kind of put a damper on a good weekend. My Bears won, even though Caleb didn't come out. He came out with the painted nails and was overthrowing balls and stuff, but it was a good week for me as a Bears fan. I'm still not, crowning them NFC North champions and making it to the playoffs and Super Bowl contenders. That's crazy. For all the Bears fans out there who are saying that, you're crazy. And I've been rooting for the Bears for as long as I can remember, but you're crazy. Okay? But notable quarterbacks came in this past week, and didn't play exceptionally well. Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. I mean, of course, there was some drop balls and stuff like that, but he didn't come in and light the screen up either. Deshaun Watson, once again, but I mean, of course, he got some offensive line issues. He didn't come in and do what Deshaun Watson has done in the past. I'm not going to talk about the other issues that's going on with him, but Justin Fields came in and secured a win with the Steelers, but he didn't light up the screen either. So it was a good week of football when it came to both college and NFL week 1. But it's always a good with bad in situations. And this situation with Tyreek Hill just kind of put somewhat of a damper on such a good week of football when it comes down to college and NFL. I'll say this though, we need to get better when it comes to just doing the right things and teaching the right things when it comes to how to deal with law enforcement, and hopefully bringing the business can be an advocate for that. And I could talk more in depth about how to conduct yourself in just various situations when it comes to law enforcement, especially as black men, because we have to be able to get, even though sometimes it's unjust and it's unfair, we have to know how to navigate in those circles. We have to, because 9 times out of 10 we end up on the bad side of that when it comes to law enforcement. So, and I was saying that as a law enforcement officer, like, we have to learn how to navigate through that to get out of those situations, and it's not about your pride. It's not about, anything like that. It's just about understanding the situation. Sometimes we don't make it home the way we're supposed to. So we really have to step up and understand that it's a different set of rules for us. It really is a different set of rules for us. I hope with this situation that Tyreek Hill has learned a lot from it. I hope from this situation that Miami-Dade County police officers have learned a lot. Because I know, like, here in Chicago, like, it's so much that we can and we cannot do. It's so much that we can't do, really, to be honest with you now. So we operate in those parameters of understanding that there's things we can do, but it's a lot that we can't do. And some of it had to do with abuse of power by police officers. So we have to put that out there. That's what it's about. It's the few in a bunch of police officers that messed it up. So, because you have very good police officers who don't operate it on those levels, and then you had the police officers who they abuse their power. They feel like, because they are police and they are in law enforcement, no matter if it's right or wrong, you got to do whatever they say. And unfortunately for the public and for the average civilian, you are at a disadvantage, because once again, like, we hold your sense of freedom in our hand at that particular time. So what we say at that particular time goes. So my thing is, man, I'm not trying to be detained, apprehended, arrested for anything that I know that could have been taken care of in 5 or 10 minutes. Like, it makes no sense to me, but don't mean to be long-winded, but hey, this is an episode of Bringing the Business, man. BC been handling his business. He's been taking care of his schooling, and he's being an educator, so, man, I'm gonna try to hold it down for him, try to come out here and hold it down as much as I can, while he take care of his business, man. Much support and love to him for doing what he's doing and holding on strong, and I know he's succeeding in doing what he's supposed to do on that level. excuse me, my allergies and everything bother me, but man, we'll be back, you know, together. We'll be back strong doing this Bring the Business thing, and we're gonna keep on just giving you good content about man, sports, about real life. That's what we do. That's what we do. This is what we're gonna continue to do. And BC gonna probably put out some stuff, you know, like right now it's just the schedule's been kind of, you know, off a little bit because, you know, he's trying to, you know, get the schooling and stuff done along with family situations, man, which is understandable, man. We gotta live our lives, but we still want to come out here and bring the business to you the best way possible so you can get, you know, this information from us and hopefully you learn from it. Hopefully you are entertained, and, you know, hey, man, it is what it is, man. Hey, this Nick, Bring the Business. Much love. Look at us on every social media platform that we are on. We're currently on, you know, of course, our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Send every episode that you can. Share with a friend. We got the Instagram. Same thing. Subscribe. Watch every video. Rewatch it. You know, send it to everybody else so they can watch it. We're gonna get our TikTok back up and running, and you know, we have some issues with that. We've been having some issues with that for a while, but we're gonna get that up back and running. So man, just check us out. Check us out on every social media platform, and we appreciate the love that we've been getting for the last few years, and we want to keep it rolling. It's Nick, Bring the Business. Peace.